While you sleep tonight, your brain will attempt to flush out toxic waste, including the very proteins linked to memory loss and cognitive decline. Your body will release its most powerful burst of repair hormone, and every major system you have will try to reset. But here is the problem. All of that only happens during one specific stage of sleep, and most adults over 35 are getting far less of it than they think. My name is Dr. Vitas, and tonight I'm going to show you what deep sleep actually does and how to protect it. For most of the last century, scientists believed sleep was essentially a passive state. The brain switched off, the body rested. Nothing much happened until you woke up. We now know that picture is almost completely wrong. Sleep is one of the most biologically active states your body enters, and it is not one single thing. Across the night, you move through several different stages, each with a completely different purpose. Light sleep, deep sleep, and dream sleep all serve different functions, and they cycle in a specific order, roughly every 90 minutes. The stage I want to focus on today is the one called deep sleep. It is the most physically restorative phase of your entire night, and it is the stage that most adults are quietly losing as they get older, often without any idea that it is happening. Here is why this matters. You can sleep for 8 full hours and still wake up feeling unrestored. Most people assume that means they did not sleep long enough, but very often the real issue is not the quantity of sleep, it is the quality, and specifically, how much deep sleep you actually reached. Two people can both spend 8 hours in bed, and one can get a rich amount of deep sleep while the other barely touches it. They will wake up feeling like completely different people. So what is actually happening during this deep sleep stage that makes it so important? The answer was one of the most surprising discoveries in modern brain science, and it changes how you should think about every night of your life. Let me tell you about something your brain does every night that almost nobody knew about until recently. Your body has a waste removal system. Throughout your body, a network of vessels carries away the metabolic garbage that your cells produce as they work. For a long time, scientists believed the brain was left out of this system entirely, that it had no dedicated way to clear its own waste. That turned out to be wrong. Your brain has its own cleaning system, and here is the remarkable part. It operates primarily while you sleep, specifically during deep sleep. Here is roughly how it works. About 90 minutes after you fall asleep, when you reach your first stretch of deep sleep, your brain cells do something extraordinary. The spaces between them actually expand by as much as 60%, and into those expanded spaces, fluid begins to flow, washing through the brain tissue and carrying away the waste proteins that built up during your waking day. Think of it like a city at night. During the day, the streets are packed and there is no room for the cleaning crews to work. But in the quiet hours, the traffic clears, and the crews move through, washing everything down. Your brain does exactly this. It waits until you are deeply asleep, clears the traffic, and runs its cleaning operation. And the waste it clears is not trivial. Among the proteins washed out during deep sleep are the same ones that, when they accumulate over years, are associated with Alzheimer's disease and other forms of cognitive decline. In a study published in 2026, researchers confirmed in humans, not just in animals, that a night of normal sleep cleared significantly more of these proteins from the brain than a night of sleep deprivation. The cleaning is real, it is measurable, and it depends on sleep. Now, this is not a reason to panic about a single bad night. Your brain is resilient, but it is a powerful reason to understand what deep sleep is doing for you over months and years, and to protect it, because the cleaning only runs well when the deep sleep is there. The brain cleaning is the most surprising thing that happens during deep sleep, but it is far from the only thing. This stage is when several of your body's most important repair and restoration processes run at full strength. First, your body physically repairs itself. During deep sleep, your body releases the largest burst of growth hormone you will produce in the entire 24-hour cycle. This is the hormone responsible for repairing tissue, rebuilding muscle, and restoring your body after the wear of the day. This is why deep sleep matters so much for physical recovery. If you exercise, the actual rebuilding of your muscles does not happen in the gym. It happens during deep sleep. Miss the deep sleep, and you miss a large part of the repair. Second, your memory gets consolidated. Deep sleep is also when your brain takes the experiences and information from your day and moves them from temporary, fragile storage into stable, long-term memory. This is called memory consolidation. It is why a good night of sleep genuinely helps you remember and learn, and why poor sleep leaves you foggy and forgetful. The memories you form during the day are not truly secured until you sleep deeply that night. Third, your immune system strengthens. Deep sleep is when your immune system does much of its most important work, producing and releasing the proteins that help you fight infection and regulate inflammation. This is part of why people who consistently get too little deep sleep tend to get sick more often, and why your body demands more sleep when you are fighting something off. So deep sleep cleans your brain, rebuilds your body, secures your memory, and strengthens your immunity. Here is the part most people do not realize. The amount of deep sleep you get naturally declines with age, but how much it declines is significantly within your control. Starting somewhere in your 30s, the amount of deep sleep you get each night begins to decline. This is partly a natural feature of aging, but the size of that decline, whether it is gentle or steep, is heavily influenced by your daily habits. And many of the things that erode deep sleep are things people do without realizing the cost. First, alcohol in the evening. This is the big one, and it surprises people. Alcohol might help you fall asleep faster, but it significantly suppresses your deep sleep, particularly in the first half of the night. You can sleep a full 8 hours after drinking and get a fraction of the deep sleep you needed. This is why you can sleep long after drinking and still wake up feeling unrefreshed. The hours were there, the deep sleep was not. Second, a warm bedroom. Your body needs to lower its core temperature by a degree or two to enter and maintain deep sleep. A warm bedroom directly fights this process. If your room is too warm, your body cannot cool itself enough to reach the deepest stages, and your deep sleep suffers. This is one of the most common and most fixable causes of poor deep sleep. Third, late, intense exercise. Exercise is one of the best things you can do for deep sleep, but timing matters. High-intensity exercise in the 2 to 3 hours before bed raises your core temperature and your stress hormones at exactly the wrong time, making it harder to drop into deep sleep. The benefit of exercise is real. The late timing can work against you. Fourth, irregular sleep timing and screen light. Your deep sleep is governed by your internal body clock, and that clock depends on consistency and light. Going to bed at wildly different times and exposing yourself to bright screen light late at night both disrupt the timing and depth of your sleep stages. An inconsistent schedule means your body never fully optimizes the architecture of your night. Notice that none of these are dramatic. A glass of wine, a warm room, a late workout, an inconsistent bedtime. Individually minor. Together, night after night, they can quietly strip away a large portion of the most restorative sleep you have. Now the practical part. Everything I have described responds to specific, evidence-based changes. You cannot fully stop the age-related decline in deep sleep, but you can dramatically reduce how much you lose, and many people can meaningfully increase what they currently get. Here is what the evidence actually supports. 1. Cool your bedroom. Keep your bedroom genuinely cool. Most sleep specialists recommend somewhere between roughly 16 and 19 degrees Celsius, which is around 60 to 67 Fahrenheit. This supports the natural drop in body temperature that deep sleep requires. If that sounds cold, start at the warmer end and adjust down over a few nights. A small detail with one of the largest effects on deep sleep quality. 2. Take a warm shower before bed. This sounds contradictory, but it works. A warm shower or bath about 60 to 90 minutes before bed causes your blood vessels to widen and release heat, so that afterward your core temperature drops more sharply than it otherwise would. That accelerated cooling primes your body for deep sleep. The evidence here is genuinely strong. It is one of the most reliable non-medical ways to increase deep sleep. 3. Train your body, especially with resistance. Regular exercise increases both the amount and the stability of your deep sleep over time. Resistance training, working your muscles against weight or resistance, has particularly strong evidence, likely because the body's demand to repair those muscles drives a deeper, more powerful deep sleep that night. Aim to finish vigorous sessions at least 2 to 3 hours before bed, so your body has time to cool and settle. 4. Protect the first half of your night from alcohol. Because alcohol most strongly suppresses the deep sleep that happens early in the night, the single most effective change many people can make is to stop drinking earlier in the evening, or to reduce the amount. You do not have to be perfect, but if deep sleep is your goal, alcohol close to bedtime is working directly against you. 5. Anchor your sleep schedule. Go to bed and wake up at consistent times, including on weekends as much as you reasonably can. Your deep sleep architecture is calibrated by a consistent rhythm. When your schedule is stable, your body learns when to run its deep sleep and its cleaning processes, and it does so more efficiently. Consistency is one of the most underrated levers you have. 6. Dim the light and calm the mind before bed. In the last hour before sleep, lower the lights, reduce screen brightness, and give your nervous system a chance to settle. Bright light late at night delays your sleep timing and pushes back your deep sleep. A calmer, darker wind down lets your body enter deep sleep sooner and stay there longer. This is not about a perfect routine. It is about lowering the signals that keep your brain in daytime mode. You cannot see deep sleep happening. You cannot feel the brain cleaning or the hormone release or the memory consolidation, but it is happening every night you protect it, and it is being lost every night you do not. These changes are how you make sure your brain gets the night it needs. I want to leave you with a shift in how you think about sleep. We tend to treat sleep as the absence of activity, the time when nothing happens, the thing we sacrifice when life gets busy. The science tells a completely different story. Sleep, and deep sleep in particular, is one of the most active and important biological processes in your entire life. It is when your brain is cleaned, your body is rebuilt, your memories are secured, and your defenses are restored. And the remarkable thing is how much of this is within your influence. A cooler room, a warm shower before bed, consistent timing, less alcohol at night, regular movement. None of these require a prescription or a device or a supplement. They are signals, the inputs your body uses to run its most restorative stage of sleep at full strength. If you want to go further, the next video in this series looks at the metabolic switch, the system that determines whether your body can efficiently burn fat for energy. Sleep and metabolism are deeply connected, and understanding both gives you a far more complete picture of your health after 35. Subscribe if this was useful to you. Everything I publish here is built on the science, explained in plain language, with no hype and nothing to sell. That is the commitment. Sleep well, and I will see you in the next one.